everyone, my name is Anne, and today we're going to be talking about the Tuskegee Study. So, the Tuskegee Study began in 1932, which was led by the Public Health Service and the Tuskegee Institute. So, the study was projected to last only for 6 months, but endured for approximately 40 years. Wow, that's a lot. So, the study involved 600 black men, 400 with syphilis, and about 200 without. So these men were given almost no specifics in what this experiment entailed. The only information they received from their healthcare providers was that they were being treated for something called bad blood. So bad blood was a very vague term, meaning that they could have several ailments, diseases, including anemia, fatigue, and of course syphilis. So the patients were almost forced to trust in their healthcare provider for care, knowing something was wrong with them, something lingering within their body. So this is when I noticed that a piece was missing, an essential piece to the puzzle, and that is informed consent. Informed consent involves the patient care provider and the patient. So the provider should explain the experiment in full. The patient should know in detail what it is, if they may be taking any bodily fluids such as blood, any possible risks or benefits they could receive. So consent is top priority. It sure is today, should have been back then, and it's very sad that the providers thought they could be selfish and bypass this basic human right and ignore beneficence. So I'm actually in a medical study right now which involves cold sores and depression. So I'm part of what's called the control group, which means I get cold sores but don't have a depression diagnosis. So when I decided to enroll in the study for my initial visit, I sat down with some researchers, and the very first thing they went over was what the study was, what information they would be gathering from me, that they were going to take my blood, that my name would not be revealed in the study, in print or in text. They gave me a code name, and constantly during my interview they asked for signatures, asked for my understanding, any questions, that I didn't have to participate if I felt uncomfortable at any point, that I could back out. So in this way I felt very comfortable that my personal information was being protected and that they were completely transparent with me. So ultimately, the providers throughout the Tuskegee Study ignored this principle of beneficence, and were obviously not transparent at all with these men, which is very sad. So the University of California, San Francisco gives beneficence a solid definition of an action that is done for the benefit of others. Beneficent actions can be taken to help prevent or remove harms or simply to improve the situation of others. So the providers here did quite the opposite. They're not advocates for the patients at all, but they're lying to them and implementing harm rather than removing it. The only way to really rectify the situation fully would be to go back and inform your patients of what the study is to an extent, offer withdrawal, and more importantly, offer treatment with provenly effective antibiotics. So back then they were working with penicillins. So this leads me to the next violation that I noticed. So in 1947, penicillin had been shown to be ineffective cure for early syphilis and was becoming widely used to treat this disease. So penicillin can be given as a shot or as a pill. So the study itself began in 1932 but went on for 40 years. So this means that somewhere within this time frame, the providers were neglecting to treat patients when there was an easy, accessible cure. So negligence is any deviation from the accepted medical standard of care causing injury to a patient, according to our book. So with one having syphilis, it's really nasty. If it stays in your body for a long time, it can cause gross skin lesions at first, and then if it's there for a really long time, it can cause blindness, nerve damage, dementia, infertility, and more. So there definitely is negligence there. They're causing injury to their patients. So today, often STDs are really easy to treat. I've had a friend that she had chlamydia but caught it early, and she actually only had to take one pill and it was gone. She just had to go get rechecked to make sure. So it's a very simple treatment, could have prevented these men from enduring these awful conditions. Today, I'm assuming in 2018, if something like this were to occur, it would definitely not slide. The culprits would more than likely be blasted on social media, sued, stripped of any licenses, degrees, accreditations, and sentenced to do time in prison. Reimburse these people for what they've had to go through, their family. So the source they used to come to this conclusion is Health Information Privacy at hhs.gov. So today they talk about, a lot of HIPAA breaches and consent. So on that website, it talks about a lot of those different things. So at the end of the video, it looks like some of the wives of the men in the Tuskegee trial got compensation for the horrendous situations they had to endure. So this kind of made me happy that, they got some compensation, but it's absolutely unacceptable. So before this assignment, I had never even heard of this study. I thought we were going to talk about the Tuskegee Airmen or something. So America has a lot of sad history, and this is definitely something we should not be proud of, but we're learning, and the healthcare industry is still growing, and we can only move forward. So yeah, that is all. Thanks.